Hi, I'm Shaken Gaming, and in this video I'm going to show you an ability upgrade guide that we made, not I, because in this video, joining me from the other side of the world is Ridley. Talk about yourself, mate.
Me. Yeah, I'm Ridley. From Australia, down under. I make videos for Dragon Champions, but I was probably more commonly known for streaming Pokemon on Twitch TV.
Streaming Pokemon.
Yeah, I know.
I've missed
That's.
that.
I guess this community doesn't really know much about that.
No, I guess not.
But that's where I started my, I guess, entertainment career.
There will be a link in the description, of course, to Ridley's YouTube channel, so you can follow him there. But be warned, he's very different than I am, which may take the entertainment value of this video a bit higher than they normally are, but I hope you enjoy that.
Yeah, we're going way up in quality for this one for sure.
Maybe. But let me introduce the guide itself. It's a spreadsheet. There's so much information that it's impossible to just make an infographic or something like I used to. But I'll just briefly walk over the information about the sheet. We have gone through every character in the game and evaluated each ability upgrade. So not the maxed ability and the value of that, but the value of each upgrade, considering the character's role, stats, relevant allies, and the rest of the character's kit. We've given each ability upgrade a number from 1 to 5, with 1 being nearly useless, 2 being useful, 3 being a strong upgrade, 4 being very strong, and 5 are reserved for game-changing upgrades. If we look at the tabs, there's a shaking tab with my evaluation, the right one, and then there's Ridley's, which is not as correct. And then there's an average one if you prefer to rely on both of us, which maybe some of you do. So there's an average tab that you can use as well.
There's not really many that we both agreed were, I guess, game-changing besides a few obvious ones, I guess.
And that's mainly what we're going to talk about, really. The differences that we have.
Yeah.
Because there are some. I'll not show this tab in the final version, but it shows our differences and how much we not agree to each other. And I think the interesting part here will be to talk about those that we have big differences on. The first one, being Amara, you want to say something?
All right, yeah, I do want to say something about this. Shaking and I disagreed on Amara probably for about 5 minutes, I'd say, without exaggerating. Because you've used Amara a lot more than I have. You've experienced it. You know her stats off by heart. Well, I'm assuming off by heart. So my experience with Amara is a 5-star gear 8. So I don't see the damage coming out. So when I look at these upgrades, to me, they seem so small and so redundant that I've given them a much lower rating than you have for, especially, I think, the first attack, the basic. We disagree a lot, and then we go through to the second ability, and you then disagree with me on how good it is. And then it's just backwards and forwards from there, really.
When you look at these numbers, the positive numbers are me being in favor of the ability, while the negative ones are Ridley. favoring them higher. So
Yeah, so it means one of us is right. Obviously, those negative numbers are where I come in, and Shaking's opinion, it's his channel, but it doesn't really matter. I'm obviously the mastermind behind it all, so you can always just trust me on this, I think.
well, we give the viewer the possibility to choose.
No choice. No choices. That's not how this
There's
works.
3 tabs. You can choose me exclusively or the average. I wouldn't consider the Ridley one. Jokes aside. We have different views on things, and may not even be one of us that's completely right, but a mix in between. Let's open up Amara. If I can find her. What was it? 1-4?
She's the it's actually all throughout 1, but it gets to 2 points at 1-4. Yeah.
I'll just open here again. Amara. Difference, we have 1, 1, 2, 1, 2. So we mainly agree on the upgrade to ability level 2, 3, and 5.
Yeah.
Let's see. So Amara deals 100% magic damage to an enemy on her basic ability without upgrading it. She's a solid damage dealer, and she gets 15% extra damage from level 2 and 3. And that's where I ranked it as 2. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah, that probably sounds right.
Gave it a 1.
Yeah, you definitely marked it as 2.
We're not going to argue about those. But then the 4th ability upgrade is 20% extra magic damage and 20% chance to deal damage to an additional target. That's where I think it starts to ramp up, and obviously Ridley doesn't agree.
One of us disagrees with the other. Yeah, I just think personally the 20% chance extra is it's not all that great. It's 1 in every 5 attacks, right? So it just, I don't know, that just doesn't seem like a lot to me for the materials that you're putting into it, even at max level, which is not what we're talking about right now. But even then, I don't think the difference is all that great.
But it's 20% of 150%.
I know. We argued about this, but I don't know. It doesn't seem like a chance worth taking, almost. If it was an option,
some people might argue
I wouldn't go with it.
I tend to go for the average values. So in reality, this is adding 50% damage to 30% damage extra just to another random ally enemy. But of course, you cannot know which target you hit, and maybe it's just a tank that soaks it all up. Well,
and it might not even happen as well. True. So
I guess the other ones aren't that interesting then to talk about because it's just the same.
Yeah, it's the same the whole way through for the basic ability. It's just the percent chance changes between 1-4, 1-5, and then 1-5 and 1-6.
What about ability 2? We mainly agree there.
Yeah, right until the last 2 upgrades, where you don't think it's as good as I think it is.
Generally, just Ridley generally has a higher rank all the way through. He's more positive about a lot of things. I'm the negative guy, but I guess you can already see that from his laughing and me just sitting here stone face. That's just the way it is.
I mean, different personalities. I guess that also that leads to our differences in choices here, also with play style and things like that.
Yeah, but I think the key word here on the 6th upgrade is reduce initial cooldown by 1.
Yeah, and I'm a big fan of that. I'm a huge fan of the initial cooldowns and the overall cooldowns. I love that shit. I think that's a great upgrade. Even if it didn't have the 35% magic damage, which is good, I would still probably give this a 3 or a 4.
Yeah, for you guys, this is
Whoa.
150% damage. Well, really, it's 175% damage because it's to all 5 targets. So this is massive.
Yeah, it is a lot of
This
damage.
is absolutely top 3 damage dealing ability in the game, just so you know. So of course Ridley is right that the initial cooldown is great, but it's only the first use that you get anything from this, and that's where we differ a bit.
Yeah. Yeah. I just think that the first few turns of a game, you can make a lot of difference for a lot of PvP fights.
Yeah.
And with Battlegrounds coming out, I think that's going to be pretty important.
There's a dogfight going on in Australia.
Yeah, our little dingo is just going fucking ballistic out the back.
It's because it's Mother's Day, I guess. They forgot to give her flowers or something.
Yeah, definitely that. Hold on, I might just go shut this guy up. I'll be back. I'll be back in a second. Oh god. Bye.
I'll just continue. Atom is the next one that we strongly disagree on, where I'm lower, but mainly ability to 5 and 2/6.
So he really doesn't like people walking by the back gate. He's a protective dog. He's more of a guy. Fuck me. Yeah, he doesn't shut up once he starts. He's a bit of a bastard like that.
I think it's 2/5 and 2/6 on Atom, where you have 2 higher on 5 and 3 higher on 6.
Yeah, it is. Well, upgrade 5. That's where the armor decrease comes in for that extra turn. I think that again is that's a fight changer at least for PvP fights, especially if you can land with the potency to get this off. The 2-turn armor decrease is pretty strong. That's 2 turns at least of increased damage from all of your characters on your team.
Yeah, but would you really use it in a PvP fight? Because you have the first ability really with a chance to decrease damage for all enemies.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, the basic attack is really good, and it's an AoE too. So as long as you land a crit, if you're under General Murdoch lead, you're gonna call someone in to assist a lot more with the basic. Yeah. Where I think a little bit differently, I know there's people like Danger X who use major shot lead still, where that assist doesn't really come in, so that armor decrease becomes a lot more important. And now that there's more opportunities on the horizons for Goblin teams, now that Dr. Frank has been announced, that's going to split the Goblins into 2 teams at least, because now we've got 2 leaders that are both pretty damn good.
Has he been announced?
Yeah, she's been announced.
She's
in the Dr. Frank. Yeah, he's in the Discord server.
Okay.
The official.
Sorry, I missed that part.
That's all right. They've been they teased her about a week ago, I think. Liz did. They added his little emote in there, and she slowly released the information on the day. But there's been no kit reveal, as far as I know.
No. Well, I missed the announcement at least.
Yeah, that's all right. We don't blame you, buddy. I can hear him growling at the back gate.
Well, what's the next one?
Boreas or Bori.
Boreas.
That's another one where we go backwards and forwards.
So we don't agree anywhere?
Um,
Mm,
we agree to some
okay,
places.
you are in favor of ability 1. Uh,
I love ability 1.
and 2, it's all over the place. Boreasm,
Yeah.
Boreas is a mess, I see, because somewhere you're higher and then I'm higher. And okay, let's open up the first ability. Can you say where the differences are?
Yep. So the first upgrade I favor by 1. The second upgrade I favor by 2. The third upgrade I favor by 1, and then the fifth by 1, and we agree on the
Okay,
last.
so it's not all over the place on the first one. It's just you being higher on all of
Yeah.
them.
It's just me loving the shit out of Boreas. I think he's a fucking great character, and everything he does is beautiful. And I would just like to give him a big cuddle.
A big cuddle. I don't like the look of
Yeah,
that.
that's all right. You don't have
But
to.
you've used him?
But yeah, I've used him under Hera lead a lot on the test server. On my main account,
I haven't
I don't have him because
I haven't
yeah.
played a lot around with him, and as you can see, he's only level 71 and gear 8 on my live. This is not on the test account, so... Okay, well, you just favor the first ability more. That's not as interesting to talk
Yeah,
about. The second one was more fun to
and
see.
I think if we go back to that first
Yeah.
ability, there is a difference between 3 and 4 for us, but they're the exact same upgrade. You've just decided at upgrade 1-3 that you didn't like it a little bit more than the next one, which is the exact same.
Ah, bugger. I'll have to open up this now. Okay, that's a mistake.
We might as well just say that we disagree by 1 or 2 points throughout the whole thing. Really.
It's a mistake. Okay. You got 1 point there
Yes.
in the lead.
Yes. That's good. That means you like Boreas 1 bit better, and I'm happy with that.
And why do I like 2-5 more suddenly than you?
I think it's just the damage upgrade that you like more than me.
Well,
The the fourth upgrade you like by 2 points more.
well, that makes sense because it inflicts bleeding for 2 turns, and there's nothing before that.
Maybe you've put that on the wrong thing then.
Did I put it on 5?
Yeah, because 2-4 is the bleed.
Okay, maybe Boreas is a bit wrong.
Maybe Boreas is better. Maybe Boreas is also just better than you think he is. That could also be a thing.
Maybe I just put the numbers in the wrong places on Boreas.
No. Definitely not. You love him.
I think something has been moved just 1 space on mine.
It's possible.
Ability upgrade 3. Ability 3, you are in 2 points more than me on several of the... Oh, that's the turn meter gain. That you like insanely much.
Yeah, I really like turn meter. People at least that have seen my videos will know that I'm basically in love with Slinger, and that's mainly because of the turn meter. And Boreas, he's got some, man. He's got that turn meter gain, and I love that.
Yeah. I am in...
Like, you use this ability, you get 10% turn meter. What's bad about that?
It's not bad. It's just the difference between the initial ability and just adding 10% turn meter. And
Yeah, I get that.
it's not a lot, really, in my opinion. And it's only for him and Kagi. And it doesn't go
which
up
I like.
either on level 4 and 5. So while I mean that the damage
That's
increase for 2 turns and haste for 2 turns are so much bigger than just an upgrade for 10%. And you have to remember that these, at least at level 5, it's very expensive.
That's very true as well. That is a lot of blue scrolls just for 10% turn meter.
For 2 characters.
Yeah, for 2
Every
characters.
third turn.
But it also seems like we disagree on the damage increase for 2 turns as well. By 2 points.
Well, that's me in favor then, isn't it?
It's actually me in favor.
What's going on with Boreas? Maybe we should...
You might have just swapped 3 and 4 around.
Yeah, I might have. I don't know. Let's check ability 4 then, because this is going completely wrong.
That's alright. We agree that Bori is the best bird in the game, so that's fine.
Best.
Yeah, this is where
bird
you
in the
like
game.
this. Yeah, best bird in
Well,
the
there
game.
aren't a lot. Let's keep.
There's 2, I think. 2.
Kagi is the other, and there's no doubt that Boreas is better than that.
Yeah.
That's the physical damage upgrades.
Yeah. Which you obviously seem to favor more than me by quite a lot.
Well, in a Pride team, there's, I don't know if it's 40 or 50% extra damage.
I'd say 50. I'd say it'd count Kagi. Not Kagi. It'd count Boreas himself
So
as
the
well.
final upgrade gives 3%. That's 15% extra damage for Kagi.
For
Boreas.
Yeah, just across the board.
For every ability.
Yeah, it is good. I don't know. Those numbers, they just seem so minuscule to me.
But of course, the armor increase at the start of the battle is there anyway.
It's also very handy to keep Kagi on the field because he is a little bitch.
But maybe we should go to Hera now because I'm just in the mood.
Oh, all right. Oof. Don't even need to take you to dinner first. Okay.
It's just because
you love Pride. I get it. You're a Pride guy.
Not really. But the armor increase for 2 turns, which you get at level 1 here. Let's go and see the leader of choice for most people on Pride. And Hera's leadership ability. Giving damage.
It seems
damage increase for everyone for 1 turn, which is useless because Boreas and Kagi already have it for 2 turns due to Boreas passive.
Yeah.
So,
which for me, I basically gave Hera her upgrades first for the Pride leader, and honestly, that first upgrade is so much more helpful than just by itself. Those few green scrolls that you throw in there, you get a pre-taunt for an extra turn, which is pretty sweet.
Yeah. Let me just check the differences here on Hera. It's mainly on her last ability. We don't disagree at all on her leadership. I remembered that we had differences. That was bad. It's actually just...
on her leadership, slide on over to the right. We do have differences over the leadership.
All the way out there.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, you favor just the first ability, and then I actually favor the other ones more.
Yeah. Well, let's let you explain that, why you like the invisibility for an extra turn more than I do.
Roger that. We hear the sarcasm in the
That's
air.
right. I'm taking over the video. I'm the host now.
I can block you anytime I want.
Oh, Jesus.
I just have to be careful.
Shit. All right, I know my place.
2, 4, 3, 2, 4. I rated her leadership ability.
Yeah.
So I only gave it a 2. Because when you look at all the things that you get at level 1, just taunt for 1 more turn doesn't mean a lot, because Salvador is slow and he's got a taunt of his own as well.
Yeah.
So I don't think it adds a lot.
Yeah. I just think that for the very small investment of a handful of green scrolls, it's totally worth it.
Oh yeah, well that's another matter. If I forgot to mention that below all these ability upgrades, there's actually a sort of value calculation of each upgrade, and because green scrolls on the first ability upgrade is practically abundant for everyone, the first upgrade is better than everything else, no matter how bad the upgrade is. Even the useless upgrades, for example on Aleria's first ability upgrade, which is just a little bit extra damage on top of a character that does no damage, is still worth a lot more, because the value of only using a little bit of gold and no blue scrolls are so big. So, but you can check the hour value estimation down below. What else is there? The damage increase lasts 1 more turn. That's not as valuable, because Boreas gives.
Well, we actually agree on that too.
But the 6th ability, 10% dodge, increase to all pride. That is just amazingly annoying to play against, because everyone even hates the 2% that every character has as a base. But this puts it up to 22% for every character. This is by far the best upgrade for her lead, in my opinion.
Yeah, well, that 10% dodge, I mean, it is nuts. And if we're really taking into account that it is only 2% dodge, which I'm still a bit skeptical on, that's huge. It is massive. I just don't know if...
It is massive. Did we just hear him use the word massive, and then he's put a 2 on the sheet?
Well, look, if it makes you happy, I'll put it at a 3. Now that I've thought about it, I'll put it at a 3. If that makes you feel better...
It makes us even on the points, so...
I just... look, there you go. Does that make you feel? You feel better? Oh, it didn't even change it. It didn't even change it.
No, I think I changed it so you can't edit it at the moment.
Yeah, fair enough.
Cheat along the way. You never know.
Oh, cheat. Oh my god.
Now you're insulted.
Would never do that.
I think we need to focus on those that really have big differences. Otherwise, this will take forever.
Well,
we take Cruel, because I know she's...
Yeah.
You've got some love there.
I was gonna suggest.
Especially her
I really don't like Cruel as an overall character. I don't like that she only works under like a specific circumstance. But I think that her passive, which we disagree on
a lot,
is actually a little bit more useful. In my experience, at least, I've fought people like Nith in Arena, and he ran all healers with Cruel, so they all had cheat death, and I timed out against that team like every single time for like 3 weeks. I could not get around the cheat deaths. It was like impossible for me until I eventually changed teams to I think I changed to the Solius Mage meta team for a while, which made me feel pretty disgusting. But then we've got upgrade 4, which is the Warriors with counterattack. And I've got a lot of love for the warrior characters, and I think counterattack is pretty nice, especially if you're up against AoE heavy teams like Zera or just orcs in general, goblins, etc. And that upgrade specifically sort of got me through. What's that event that we just had? Mor'doom.
The extra one.
Yeah, I actually ran through warriors for that, and I would take the warriors from the enemy team, and that's what let me win, was the warriors.
I just only see mages used, really, so I don't see the benefit of any of the other abilities, because that's the problem with this one.
No,
it's very specific. You need to have 3 healers, otherwise level 2 does nothing.
Absolutely nothing. Yeah, it sucks.
Or level 3 does nothing. So that's why I rank everything 1, isn't it? Except the last one.
Yeah, we disagree a lot on the passive in particular.
If I could find her on my sheet. Yeah, I have 1, 1, 1, 1, 5.
Yeah, I believe I put 4. I'm going to put this dog down. Honestly, it's just giving me hell right now. Is that what I did? 3, 3, 3, 4, 4?
3 3s and 2 4s. No,
okay, yeah.
I'm looking
that
at
makes sense.
Delman, sorry. You gave it the last one a 5.
Yeah, I think we both gave it a 5, I believe. Did we not? Oh, you gave it a 4.
No, I gave the level 6 a 5 as well. So we agree on that one. It's only level 5 that you gave a 1. So you haven't seen the Rangers team.
I haven't. You're right.
Okay. Well, that was a big one.
I want to know why we disagree so strongly on Darrien.
Just to add, those that looked at my screen, I absolutely hate Kriel. So that's why she's only level 31 and not even 6 stars yet. I'm not even working on her. Sorry.
I don't blame you.
Just a side comment. Darrien.
Hey, it's alright.
That's a 3, and that's it.
Yeah. It's actually his 3rd upgrade too.
But we have 1 on nearly everything. Some you in favor, some me in favor. Ability upgrade 3-3. Let's look at that one.
I'm really not sure why this is 3 points difference, if I'm honest. I don't think this should be a 3-point difference. I don't even think this upgrade is that good.
You are 3 points in the lead.
Yeah, I gave it a 4.
3, 3, 4. 4, 4, 1, 4, 1.
I don't know why. I don't know why I gave this a 4.
That doesn't make any sense. Mate.
I would give this... if I could go back in time, I would give this a 3.
Okay. I might let you edit the sheet after we're done, so before we release the video, you get a chance to correct those errors.
But you just want to make me look like shit for now.
Yeah, for now.
I get it. Alright, I get it.
2-1
for me. And we also disagree on 3-5. Again.
Let's see.
By 2 points.
3-5. And then 4-6 after that, but that's me in favor. 3-5.
Yeah, which is crazy. That's just another debuff removed and 5% health. I know. I agree with what I've put it at. I've probably put this at a 3 or a 4 max.
I don't think it's that good, really, but
I just think debuffs are a pain in the ass, and if you've been, what's it called, buff immunity
by Eric.
This is awesome. to just get rid of that and then put your taunt back up.
Yeah, but I just think, how many times do you actually debuff the tank? Because you're not trying to kill the tank first. So he's rarely got a lot of debuffs on them, and if they do have a debuff, it's ability block, and then he can't use the ability anyway.
Yeah.
So that's why I didn't rank it higher.
Yeah, that's a good point.
That is a good point. Right.
So why do we disagree a lot on this next ability? You're in favor of this by a lot.
4-6 or what was it?
Throughout the whole way, you're totally into this passive ability a lot more than me, and then at the end you're even more into it.
What did I put it at? 2 or 3?
You would have put it at. I think you might have put it at 4.
Let me check.
If I'm honest.
Darrien. Where is he? There.
Because I've only got that at a 2 on my sheet.
Ability 3?
4. 4-6.
4-6. I gave it a 4. So I have 2, 2, 2, 2, and then 4 in the end. So I think the physical damage increase on each of these are decent. It's usable. It's a tank, and he gets 5% extra physical armor all the way. I think it's decent. It's not good in any way. That's why I gave it a 2. But a 50% chance to gain dodge increase for 1 turn at the end of every turn without doing anything on a tank. I definitely think it changes his passive completely, because without it, he just gets 25% physical armor, nothing else. But a 50% dodge chance for 1 turn, it's a big one. I still think Darrien is a bad character, and you shouldn't invest in this. But the upgrade itself is big, so I gave it a 4.
Yeah, that's fair. I don't know, half a chance to gain a dodge at the end of his turns. I don't know. I think he's too slow for this to really make much of a difference, if I'm honest.
Yeah, that's why I don't like the ability as a total, but the upgrade is great.
It's just that upgrade, yeah.
Upgrade. And that's something you have to remember, not you, Ridley, but the viewers, that it's one upgrade. It's not the ability as a complete that we rank here.
Yeah, Shaking's going to do that in a future video, guys. Keep an eye out for that.
Yeah, depending if people like this or not, I might include someone from across the world again.
This is going to be the most viewed video on YouTube. This is going to be PewDiePie level, 100%.
PewDiePie.
I have no doubts.
To PewDiePie.
No, just the views.
Ability 5. I'm in favor all the way, except for the last. That's not fun to talk about.
Yeah, you just love Darrien for some reason, even though he's friggin' hot garbage.
It's 5% armor for every ability. That sounds decent to me.
Yeah, it's pretty good. It is pretty good, but it's not great.
This is going too slow. It will take us forever getting through this.
Do we just want to jump into the reds then?
Yeah, I think so. We have.
So the next one's Diesel.
And Eric.
Oh, okay. So Diesel Rogs is 3-2.
That's actually the only 2 characters left then, but maybe that's better, because I guess you see the point. A lot of these differences that we have, the reasoning why have already been explained. For example, the initial and max cooldowns Ridley like more than I do. And a lot of them are actually that.
Yeah. There is a lot where it's just, I prefer a turn meter gain or a debuff removal or a buff gain or something. I just prefer that a lot more than what you do, because I work into that a lot more in my playstyle.
3-2 for Diesel Rock. You have a love for old lure, I think?
No, I hate old lure. I just love turn meter. That's it. I just love turn meter. Dieselrog gets 5% turn meter for each living orc in the party. That's a green scroll upgrade. If you're running a full orc team, that's 5 times 5, 25%
Gave
turn
it
meter. It's pretty fucking good. Yeah, it's 25% turn meter. That's wicked.
You get 5% for each character.
Each living orc.
Yeah. But if you only have orcs on the team, then you miss out on half his ability.
Yeah. Well, you're also. I mean, I feel like bringing old law into this is just. I think that's actually worse if you try and run this with old law. Then you're only getting 20% turn meter. I think it's better to stick with a full orc team just for that reason.
But 4-turn cooldown, and he uses 1 turn, so that's 100% turn meter, to gain 25 for the upgrade itself. At max, it recovers 15% turn meter for every living orc in the party. So that's at max 45. 5 orcs. That's 75% turn meter gained while using 100%.
Yeah. But you're using that turn to gain buffs as well, so I think it's worth it.
Yeah, true. You use it to get the damage increase and maybe in the future accuracy increase.
Yeah, I think the accuracy increase is actually right off the bat, and then it goes into cheat death, and I want to say a damage increase as well. And then it's got some bonuses against Darrien, which is just weird. His kit is really specific.
But Dieselrog is such a bad character.
He can hit pretty goddamn hard, though. And I think that's why you like his fourth ability more than I do.
He can hit pretty hard.
Yeah. Because he can put out an AoE armor decrease and then follow that up with another AoE right away.
Let me just check something here in my damage calculation.
Where's the other one going?
He can actually hit pretty hard. I agree. After checking my numbers, he's got the 11, 12, 13, 14. 14th strongest. No, that was the wrong. I upgraded the numbers. He's got around the 15th, 17th strongest area ability.
In the game. That's nuts.
That's more than I thought. I guess that sets it at 2-2.
Yeah, well, I've copped a fat dick from Dieselrog. That AoE's put me in my place before.
I do not believe you've upgraded him.
Oh no! I've only ever used him on the test server, and I've only really ever fought against him.
Thank you.
Um,
Just a recommendation,
yeah,
guys.
but
Don't use him.
Yeah, don't go out of your way to build the character. The only thing you really get out of building him, I feel, is like maybe a PvE game. I don't even think you'd be better off with PvP.
But he fits the visual meta with Hard Orc.
Oh yeah. Especially with the bleed on top of the armor decrease.
Let's take Eric Shieldbreaker as the last one because it's taking a lot longer than I thought it would. Even though there's a lot of abilities that I really wanted to talk about. For example, Kin Lee and some of the others that have big differences. But you can go over all of these And if you really think one of us is spot on or the other, or it's the average that's correct, if you want to discuss any of this, just come to my Discord server and we can talk about it. Ridley is in there as well, and I know he tends to answer questions when I'm not around.
Yeah, and I also I try and introduce people to your channel when I can, also through the developer Discord.
Through the developer Discord. Yeah, we
I
both
actually,
have the test accounts, but you already heard that. So
yeah.
okay,
Subscribe also to this channel if you haven't already.
you can do that if you want.
You gotta
I usually say
you gotta
if
you gotta shout yourself out.
I try not to sell myself too much.
It's alright. I'll be your business manager. It's fine.
Eric Shieldbreaker ability 3.
Oh,
You have one more on the first 2 and one more on the last, but 4 and 5 you have 3 more than me.
yeah. Well, again, that's cooldown reductions. The initial cooldown reduction on the 4th upgrade, and then again on the 5th. Plus, the extra ally gaining the buff and the armor increasing for one turn. I think it's pretty good. I think it's pretty handy.
I've used, as one of the very few people, Eric Shieldbreaker in Arena a lot. It might
Same.
not have been that clever, but it's because I don't like Gruel.
I think he's great.
And I didn't use this ability when I still had Eric in my Arena team, to be honest.
Did you not? Really?
Not every turn I had it available, at least. No.
Because I actually I spam this ability a little bit.
I just wanted to use his second ability and his first ability to kill people.
Yeah, that's fair enough. He does hit hard.
He does hit very hard.
Not to be slept on, that's for sure.
And the damage increase for 2 turns, and then swing his first ability again for another 180%.
Yeah, it's fucking
And
beautiful.
80% penetrating shields. Okay, well, we could, if we had to go over all the 2 points differences that we have, this would take hours more, and I think we would bore the shit out of most of my viewers. So I think we'd better wait until I'm guest in one of your videos to do that.
Yeah. Well, we can always discuss it in the Discord server, like you said, if people want to drop by.
And we may, as Ridley said earlier, make a recommendation for overall maxed abilities, because some of the abilities are very good at base level and then only gets small increases on the way, but that doesn't mean that the max ability is bad just because we gave it a low upgrade value. So the ability can be great even though the upgrade value that we put on it is low. So it might make sense to add on maxed value as well, but we'll have to wait and see if we release that eventually. Do you have anything to add here in the end? Otherwise, I'm going to wrap it up.
Yeah, I do have one thing to say. Please, buff Shadar. It's all I want. I just want Shadar to be buffed. It's the only reason I made a channel. I'm a big advocate for a leadership buff, and also a buff on his first special. So please make that happen. Shaking, I'm talking to you. Please make that happen.
What, his second ability?
Yeah, I think he's stunned could be cooler. He summons a giant fucking demon man out of the ground, and all he does is stun someone. They could do something else to that, for sure.
Does stun someone?
Yeah, like he's summoning like a monster from hell. It could at least apply burn as well.
According to my calculations, That ability is the third highest single target ability in the game.
Yep, let's buff it.
And then you say buff it.
Yeah, buff it.
I think
And the leadership too.
Shadar is amazing as he is, but his leadership is lackluster, that's for sure.
Yeah, 100%.
So I can support the leadership, but not the rest.
Yes.
Finishing it there. Subscribe if you like if you like. Links for Ridley's channel in the description, along with links to my infographics and the sheet, of course. Thanks for watching.
Yeah.
Have a great day.
Woo.
I'm just gonna cut you out on the last woo, I think.
Hey, come
No,
on.
I'll let you have it.
Yes.